Okay, the thing which I this is the graphical indication of the impedance. So whatever the impedance we have been found till now and for a transmission line, so if somehow we need to find out a reflection coefficient for any length of line for any reason, let us consider the line is get short circuit terminated or the line is get open circuit terminated. So for these reasons, if somehow these lines are having certain problem, so how to detect that problem by going through certain values on the line, that is the reflection coefficient and the impedance. This device or this graphical indication will help us to find out this kind of problems while the line is quite longer in length. So that is a basically graphical indication. So it is basically devised by Philip H. Smith in 1939. In 1939. So what it is basically a graphical indication of the impedance of a transmission line and of the corresponding reflex coefficient as one moves along the line. So let us go with the construction of Smith chart. How we can construct this Smith chart depending upon different line characteristic. Line characteristic means with respect to this reflection coefficient and the impedance. So let us assume the transmission line to which the Smith chart will be applied is lossless. So we have been taken a line where loss is completely zero, that is alpha is zero. So no need to do any kind of calculation with respect to alpha. Attenuation is completely zero. So what does it mean? We are having the characteristic impedance only this resistance. The Smith chart is constructed within a circle of unit radius. How we'll find? That is mod of gamma should be less than is equals to 1. So something like this. So if we are having these two axes, how I am just telling you that these axes with respect to gamma are real value, this axis with respect to imaginary value of gamma. So on this axis, the Smith chart will be within this circle of having radius 1, that is gamma is equals to 1. Within this circle, we are having total our Smith chart. So we are having different within this, we are having different value of gamma. We can have different value of gamma with different radius. It should have certain angle with this real axis, and at the origin we'll found that this gamma is equals to 0. We'll found. So the construction of the chart is based on, as I said, this reflection coefficient based on the relation gamma is equals to, as we know, ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught. Okay, so for this gamma we can also find out as a polar form. This can be written as gamma R plus J gamma I. That can also be written and also we can go with the polar form, that is gamma having some angular value theta. So obviously this one is the real part, this one is the imaginary part of reflection coefficient gamma. So now if we look into this relation, every time gamma supposed to change with a different value of characteristic impedance. If we are having separate transmission line with separate characteristic impedance, so every time this gamma will change. So rather going with different Smith chart for different line, we need to simplify that one so that for any kind of line we can go with this universal graphical indication. So instead of having separate Smith chart for transmission line with the different characteristic impedance, we'll go with or we'll prefer one that can be used for any line. So how we have been achieving that? We are achieving by using normalized chart. Normalized means we have been normalizing this impedance with respect to characteristic impedance. We have been normalizing that. So we going to use the normalized impedance ZL like this as how we are normalizing with respect to Z naught. So we supposed to take normalized value of this impedance by taking the characteristic impedance or by dividing every impedance with the characteristic impedance. So you will find that if any kind of line with different characteristic impedance, if we have been dividing or normalizing all of the impedance with respect to the characteristic impedance, we will find that within this unit circle we can have all kind of lines, whatever the lines we can assume. So it may have some resistance and some reactance. So as we written that this reflection coefficient should have certain real and imaginary value. So obviously that is equals to ZL minus Z naught by ZL plus Z naught. So if we divide this numerator and denominator with respect to Z naught, then we can have the normalized value. So that one will become ZL minus 1 by ZL plus 1. Now this ZL minus 1 is equals to, if we multiply both sides with respect to this, gamma ZL plus gamma. Okay. So what will be the value of this ZL? ZL is 1 plus gamma by 1 minus gamma. So if we use this value over here, so ZL will be like this, 1 plus, I am just separating the real and imaginary value, 1 plus gamma R plus J gamma I by 1 plus, sorry, 1 minus gamma R minus J gamma I, that is having this value resistance plus reactance. So let us simplify this one. R plus Jx is 1 plus gamma R plus J gamma I into 1 minus gamma R minus J gamma I, 1 minus gamma R whole square plus gamma I square. So from this we can separate the real and imaginary value. So real value R is 1 minus gamma R square minus gamma I square, 1 minus gamma R whole square gamma I square. That is equation number 1. And this x, this reactive part, 1 minus gamma R square plus gamma I square twice gamma I. Equation number 2. So let us first deal with this equation number 1. So from equation 1, so if you do the cross multiplication, then we can have r gamma r square minus twice r gamma r plus r plus gamma I square into r is equals to 1 minus gamma r square I square. So let us do certain simplification. Gamma r square 1 plus r twice r gamma r plus gamma I square 1 plus r is equals to 1 minus r. Dividing both sides by 1 plus r, then we can have gamma r square minus twice r by 1 plus r into gamma r plus gamma I square is equals to 1 minus r by 1 plus r. By adding r by 1 plus r whole square on both sides, what we can write, that is gamma r square minus twice r by 1 plus r gamma r, then this one r by 1 plus r whole square gamma I square is equals to plus r square 1 plus r whole square. So we can write this one as, this one supposed to be the whole square 1 plus r whole square plus gamma I square, this one will become 1 plus r by 1 whole square. Similarly, if we go with this x, if we have been going with this x equation, that is equation number 2, then we can derive same kind of expression, whole square plus 1 by x whole square 1 by x whole square. So obviously these two equations having a known kind of form, it is the expression or the equation of a circle, right? So we know general equation of circle is x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equals to a square. So here the center at h comma k and radius is a. So same kind of thing, we can have the center at this one and 0, and the radius is this, and for this it is 1 by x, and radius is 1 by x, like this. So for equation, if you have been going with simply for first equation 3, for equation 3 the circle centered at, this is the radius r by 1 plus r comma 0, and the radius is 1 by 1 plus r, right? So this is the value of gamma r, this is the value of gamma I, right? So let us go with different value of this resistance, and let us find the centered and the radius. So normalized resistance we supposed to take, that is the value of r, then we will go with radius, radius is 1 by 1 plus r, then we will go with center, center is r by 1 plus r comma 0. So let us put first normalized resistance 0, r is equals to 0. So if we put r is equals to 0, the radius will become 1 and it is centered at, if we put r is equals to 0, then 1 0 by 1 it is 0, 0 comma 0. Let us go with half. The radius will be 2 by 3, center will be 1 by 3 comma 0. Then let us put 1, then it will become half. The center will be at half comma 0. If we go 2 with 2, then it will become 1 by 3, then 2 by 3 comma 0. Like this, if we put 5, then it will become 1 by 6, it will become 5 by 6 comma 0. Now if we have infinite resistance, that is somehow open circuited, then the radius will be having 0 and it will centered at 1 comma 0, right? Up to this clear? So all of these values we are having depending upon the resistance. So if we start drawing our circle based on different radius and center. So first thing we are having, we can identify from all of this that we are having the maximum radius of 1. Maximum value of the radius is 1, which is centered at 0 comma 0, and all of the other circles are having the radius which is lower than this. So for r is equals to 0, that is for the short circuit termination, we are having the radius of 1 which is maximum among all of them, and for the open circuit termination we are having the radius is equals to 0 and it is centered at 1 comma 0. So all the circles, if we say, okay, let us draw this thing first. So first of all, we are having the maximum radius of 1 which is centered at 0 comma 0. So obviously we can say that the axis with respect to gamma r and with respect to gamma I, same the axis with respect to gamma r and with respect to gamma I. So this one gamma r, gamma I. So we are having the first circle with unit radius and centered at origin. Let us consider this one. So this is at 0 comma 0 and radius. So this one is for the r is equals to 0. This circle, it is for r is equals to 0. Next, if we put resistance half, we can have radius 2 by 3. Let we have been going with resistance 1, so that will be very easily we can put the radius of 0.5. So if we are having the radius of 0.5 with resistance r, the centered, it is centered at 0.5 comma 0. So 0.5 comma 0. So if this one is 1, up to this, if it is 1, so let us consider it is 0.5. This point is 0.5, 0.5 comma 0, this value, right? So it is 0.5 comma 0, this point. So it's supposed to be centered at this radius half. So obviously we can have this circle within this value. So let us draw a circle like this, right? So this is for r is equals to, this is for r is equals to 1, r is equals to 1. Next, let us go with any value. So obviously for this half we can have 2 of 3, 1/3. So obviously we can have the radius somewhat here, right? It is greater than 0.5, isn't it? So let us draw for this. So for r is equals to 5, we can have 1 by 6. 1 by 6 somewhere here. Let us consider somewhere here 1 by 6. So it's supposed to be centered at like this, and it should have the resistance of 5 by 6. Sorry, it should have the radius of 1 by 6 and centered at 5 by 6 comma 0. So let us take somewhere here roughly, and we can have this circle. Let us take this is for r is equals to 5. R is equals to 5. And if we have been drawing this one for half, then we can have some center will be here, and we can have the radius circle something like this. Let us consider. So this is for r is equals to half. This is what r is equals to half. So what is the observation we can take from this? That all the circle, and one important thing, if we are having r is equals to infinite, the radius 0. The radius is 0 if we have been taking r is equals to infinite. R is equals to infinite will give us the radius is equals to 0 and centered at 1 comma 0. So what is that point 1 comma 0? This is the point 1 comma 0, and it should have the radius of circle. Radius of the circle is 0. So for this case, we can take this point as r is equals to infinite. For this case, we can take as r is equals to infinite, right? So what are the observation we can take? First observation, that all the circles are passing through this point 1 comma 0. All the circles are passing through 1 comma 0 this point. Second observation, all the circle are having their center between 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1. All the circles are having their center between between 0 and 1 on which axis? On gamma r axis. On gamma r axis. Third observation, all the circles are neither concentric nor intersecting with each other. All the circles are neither concentric nor intersecting with each other. Right? So all of the circles are passing this point r is equals to infinite, that is open circuit point, and the radius of all of the circles are having their value between 0 to 1 because we have normalized. Then all of these circles, they are neither concentric, that is the center is not same, neither they are intersecting with each other. Now let us go with this expression, that is for reactance. So for this, it is equation number 4. So for this equation 4, we are having the center at 1 comma 1 by x and is having the radius of 1 by x. So let us take normalized reactance, different value of reactance. Normalized reactance x, then radius is 1 by x, center is at 1 comma 1 by x. So let us take different values. For reactance 0, we can have the radius infinite, and it is having the center 1 comma infinite. Now the reactance can be both positive and negative, right? It can be either inductive, it can be either capacitive. So we are supposed to take both. So let us go with plus minus half. That will give us, radius will be having certain numerical values, then we will put simply either this side or this side, whatever, the same circle we are supposed to have. So that will be having the radius of 2, and the center is at 1 plus minus 2, this side or that side. Then plus minus 1, it will be having 1, center 1 comma plus minus 1, plus minus 2, it's supposed to have half, it is 1 plus minus half. Then last value, let us consider like this, plus minus infinite. So it is not at all plus minus infinite, simply infinite. We can also write 0, then 1 comma 0. So let us go with these lines. So again these are on the gamma r and gamma I axis, right? So first thing, if we have been going with the first point, that is at 1 comma 0, that is the first point. After that it is gradually increasing. The gamma r value is remains same, gamma r value remains same, that is 1. But if we have been starting with infinite point, infinite reactance, then it will start from the minimum value of the gamma I. After that it is gradually increasing, right? So if we are having this unit circle with radius 1, unit circle with this radius 1, so this is gamma r axis. So first point, it is having the center at 1 comma 0, this point. It is having the reactance infinite and radius is of 0. So we can say this value having the reactance is equals to plus minus infinite. So why I am just writing plus minus infinite, that is also having certain significance. Now, so this point reactance infinite means we can say it is open circuit point like this. This is the, we can say this is the open circuit point, POC. Same here also, same thing we have found, that is it is the open circuit point. Next, let us go with reactance plus minus 2, this one. It is having the radius of 0.5 and it is having the center at 1. This is the point 1, right? And it can have, let us consider this is 0.5 value, this is 1, obviously this is 1, so this is the 0.5 value, this 0.5, it is minus 0.5, it is 0.5. So we are having two different circle, one is 1 plus 1 comma plus 0.5 and that is 1 comma minus 0.5, two different circle, right? So we can have, this is one center, this is 1 comma half, this is another center, that is 1 comma minus half. We need to take these 2 points as a center and we need to draw a circle with radius is of half, right? So this is the center, sorry, these 2 points are the center. So if we start drawing, then we can have the circle with 0.5 radius. So this value from here to here, obviously it is having 0.5. So whatever the circle we supposed to draw, the circle will go through this point, right? This upper circle as well as this lower circle, it will go through this point. So we can have two different circle, one is in the upper side, one is in the this below side. So we can say the circle with this radius centered at these 2 points can pass through this point. So we can draw the circle like this, we can draw the circle like this. So this is for reactance 2, this is for x equals to minus 2, two circle. We are not going beyond this unit circle because the resistance, it is the maximum resistance of the transmission line. Now if we have been going with this value plus minus half, reactance plus minus half, it's supposed to have the radius of 1, it's supposed to have the radius of 1 and the center is at 1 plus minus 1. So if this is half, let us consider this is the point, it is 1 comma 1, this is the point, it is 1 comma minus 1. So these are the two center with radius 1. So if we have been considering from this point to this point, this is 1, this point to this point, this is 1. So whatever the circle we are supposed to draw by taking this center, it will go through this point and this point, it will go through this point and this point. So we can have the circle which is like this, we can have the circle which is like this. Beyond that, if we have been going with it is for x equals to 1, this is for x equals to minus 1. Now if we have been considering the reactance is plus minus half, then we can have the radius 2 and center is at 1 plus minus 2. So beyond that, like this here, if we can consider here. So by taking this one as a center, so obviously it should have the radius 2. So it is 1, it is up to this one, then we can consider up to this. Then we can have a bigger circle. So we can say something like this. But obviously it will go through this point. Same, it will go through this point. So this is for x equals to 0.5, this is for x equals to minus 0.5. So this is the circle with respect to our reactance. Now the practical Smith chart is of the combination of these two circles. It is the combination of this circle, this circle. Which one? Which one? Which circle for which reactance? What is not crossing? Because we are having what we are having this ZL, this normalized impedance, it is R plus JX, right? So if we are been having any transmission line which has been terminated with this load, it can have the resistance of R, reactance of X. So what we have been found that for any kind of transmission line with any kind of characteristic impedance, it can have the resistance maximum of 1 as a radius. That is what we have been found. That is what we have been found for this, because it is having the radius of this expression. We can have for normalized resistance R is equals to 0, that is the minimum value of the resistance. For that we can have the maximum radius of 1. For maximum value of resistance, that is infinite, we can have the radius is equals to 0. So what we have been found, whatever the resistance we can have, we are having all the circles within this value from 0 to 1. Now when we have been come to this reactance, we can have the radius starting from 0 but going up to infinite. So somehow if we are, let us consider we are been going at this point somehow. According to you, if we are being not at all been considering this unit circle, if we have been going beyond that, so what will be the radius for this, for the resistance value? Somehow bigger than R. Just try to understand. If we are some other circle with some other radius value, then obviously we can have the resistance value which is not is equal to 1 but beyond that. So obviously the radius beyond 1, it is not possible. Then if we are been having certain reactance at this point, but we didn't have any kind of existence of that curve, because we can't go beyond that resistance value, because we already have normalized our impedance. We have already normalized our impedance with respect to this characteristic impedance. So it will never produce certain characteristic, certain normalized impedance level which is beyond that maximum value of R, because we have already, whatever the characteristic impedance we may have, whatever the value we can have, we have already normalized that value. That has produced this resistance and this reactance. So for this resistance we are having the maximum radius value of 1. So we can have this circle with maximum radius value. If we have been considering some other radius, that is not possible. Now according to our curve, for this reactance curve, we are having different center. This curves or this circle having certain value which may take some resistance, which is, though it is not possible, but it can take. But still we cannot go with that resistance value, because the circle with this radius, it is the maximum one. So that is not at all be in confusion, that if we are having certain radius of 1, so due to that a maximum resistance cannot be accommodated within that circle. When we'll solve problem, you will find. So I can show you some practical Smith chart like this. I'm just showing how it is looks like. This is a practical Smith chart. You'll find this is a practical Smith chart. So on this, different scales are being mentioned. Look, how many circles, how many reactance values are there? This is the maximum radius. This is the maximum radius that is having one value. So on this circles, we can have all the normalized impedances, whatever we can assume. This is I'm only been drawn this one separate, this one separate. But Smith chart will take into consideration of both because the impedance ZL is R plus dx. It is having the resistance as well as X. So whenever we are having any kind of impedance ZL, we need to take into consideration of this R, that normalized resistance. Due to that R, whatever the radius we can have, we need to go with that circle. Let us consider if we are having this circle. So for the reactance value, we need to find out certain point because the curves will be there. The curves will be there. So first we need to go with this R, then we need to go with this reactance. At that point, we need to find out whatever the impedance we can have. So I will find out how to. I will show you how to find out this value. So for the time being, we cannot go beyond this circle because that is the maximum radius we can have. Now it is clear. This point, it is known as short circuit point. This point it is known as short circuit point. Why? Because we can have the radius normalized resistance 0 and which is centered at this point. It is centered at this origin. For this case also it is centered at this is 0 comma 0 point, this is 0 comma 1 point. So we can have this normalized resistance R is equals to 0 with radius 1 centered at 0 comma 0. So we can say this is the point for the short circuit. But we can't say this point as a short circuit because on this point one circle exists, but this point there is no circle. This is the circle which has been going through this point. So this point it is having the maximum radius of 1. This side it is also having the maximum radius of 1, but we can't say this point as a short circuit point because on this point we can have a circle with centered at 1 comma 0, but this circle is not at all centered at minus 1 comma 0. It is centered at 1 comma 0. So that's why always this right hand side point should be open circuit point, this left hand side point should be short circuit point. This is having x equals to, this point is for the x equals to 0 because if we have been going with x equals to 0, if we have been going with x equals to 0, so radius is infinite. For this expression radius is infinite, centered at 1 comma infinite. So 1 comma infinite, any value can be possible. So starting from this point on this line, any point can be possible. So if we have been drawing a big circle, so obviously that will become a straight line. So this reactance will go through this line for x equals to 0. For infinite radius, but starting at this point along this line, if we are drawing a big circle, so obviously it will pass through this point. So you can say yes, it is above, it is also possible, below this line it is also possible. So this line, it is the line for the reactance x equals to 0. So this point is known as short circuit point. Clear or not? Just try to assume we are having a circle with radius infinite and centered at 1 comma infinite. This is the line. On this it is not going beyond this point, so obviously one this side also possible, this side it is also possible, then we can have infinite. So this side it is infinite, this side also it is can be infinite. So if we have been drawing a circle, it must need to go through this line gamma r axis. Clear? So from this line, what are the assumptions we can take? What is the next class? Okay, so let us stop up to this for today.